Welcome to another episode of Disassembly. I am the servant of Yahuwah Sayah, and we're going to pick up this series of Redline in chapter 28 of Bere'Shiyth. Now, I hope you have been enjoying this because I have. This is some really interesting scriptures, and it really sheds light on current situations, not only here in the U.S., but other places around the world where people ask the question, why? Well, this series reveals that answer completely, all right? This is by far one of the strongest evidences of just how accurate Scripture is, not only back then, but here today in our lives. All right, picking up verse 1 in chapter 28 of Bere'Shiyth, verses 1 through 4. And Yitzchak called Yaakov and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, You shall not take a woman of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a woman from thence of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, that you may be a multitude of people, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you and to your seed with you, that you may inherit the land wherein you are a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. Now, just to point out, just moments ago, Yitzchak was in a cry fest with Esau. They were both hurt by the actions that Yaakov had taken to receive two blessings, two important, huge blessings. And what they didn't know is that Rivkah also had an important hand in Esau losing out on that final blessing. All right. El Yitzchak called his son El Yaakov, and he blessed him. So he got another blessing. After all of the pain, heartache, and disappointment he just endured because of the actions of Yaakov, he blessed him. And we don't know how long of a time period had went by when not only Rivkah went to Yitzchak, but also when Yitzchak called in Yaakov to bless him and send him away. So we don't know how long that was. It reads like it was back to back to back, but there's time passing by. It's not just happening back to back. After coming to understanding that Yaakov tricked him, deceived him, blatantly lied to him in order to obtain his blessing, which rightfully belonged to his brother Esau, Yitzchak blessed him. And he sent him away to be the sole inheritor of the covenant of Abraham. He and his generation will inherit the blessing of Yahuwah inherit the blessing of Yahuwah that blessed Abraham. So even after all of that heartache and pain, Yitzchak was specific in pointing out that Yaakov and his generations only, will receive the covenant, will inherit the covenant of Abraham. All right? He pointed out that this would not go to your brother too. This will go to you. All right? His generations too would be the recipients of the curse of slavery and persecution of Bere'Shiyth 13:15. Don't forget that. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall your seed also be numbered. Why like the dust of the earth? All right. Why? Well, it's hard to count dust. Can't really get rid of it either. Let that sink in. Verse 5. And Yiscak sent away Ethyaakov. He went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rivkah, Yaakov's and Esau's mother. Yiscak sent away his son Yaakov. Where did not matter, for he was doing the bidding of his woman. And he did not seem to know it, or perhaps that did not matter either. Because he really, really liked him some Rivkah. That was his woman. Unlike his father, he didn't. Well, he did. He denied her. I was about to put my foot in it, but yeah, he denied her. But when he first got her, she gave him some comfort, didn't she? Ooh, damn, he didn't waste no time. All right, verses 6 through 9. When Esau saw that Yiscak had blessed Ethyaakov and sent him away to Padan Aram to take him a woman from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, You shall not take a woman of the daughters of Canaan. And that Yaakov obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Yiscak his father, then went Esau unto El Yishmael, and took unto the woman which he had, Eth Machalath, the daughter of Yishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his woman. Wow, that was a mouthful, right? Was Esau trying to please his parents, particularly his father, as best he could? Or was this rebellion, since Yishmael was rejected, in a way, by his father Abraham? Abraham, he really didn't want to send him away, but not only was he rejected by his woman, Sarah, he was also rejected by Yahuwah. So, Abraham had his hands tied, so he had to send him away. He had to, as Yahuwah said, he had to do what his woman wanted. All right? Now, either way, the daughters of Yishmael would not have been pleasing, since they were 3/4 Mitzrayim and the rejected blood of Abraham. After all, it did interest Esau to please his father. It figures that his hope was to do his best, at least choosing a woman from the daughters of his uncle Yishmael. Perhaps he figured that since Yishmael was more closely related to Yiscak than was Laban, the father of Rivkah, brother of Abraham, Yiscak's father, he figured this course would be more pleasing to his father than what Yaakov told. What Yiscak told Yaakov to do. All right, verses 10 and 11. And Yaakov went out from Bere'Shiyth and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. He took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. Now, it wasn't a whole lot going on here. It's just showing Yaakov being obedient to the will of his father, to the will of his mother. And he's traveling to go to Haran, to live with Laban, so his brother don't kill him. Now, in verse 11, I thought it was interesting how the wording says that he lighted upon a certain place. You see that phrase to my memory once more in Scripture later on in the so-called New Testament. It's all the same to me, but I guess people want to separate Scripture somehow, divide them up. I don't know, maybe so they could conquer them. They're weaker by themselves, but it's all the same. But it does occur, to my knowledge, at least once more. It's speaking of, I believe, a gentle course of action. He lighted upon a certain place. He had no ill will upon his going there. He went there with, good intentions. I believe it's speaking in that manner. And when you read it later on, I will point it out again, it fits that description. All right, verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. It was seen that his dream showed just how close heaven and earth really are. In our natural minds, we would think that heaven is light years upon light years from the earth. However, in this dream, we see that heaven is close enough for a tall ladder to reach. It doesn't say how tall, but I'm assuming it's at least kind of tall. I'm sure it's more than 10 rungs, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. This dream does not even say that it went up past the clouds. So heaven not only is very near, but quite possibly even in the earth's own atmosphere. It will also seem that the ladder was real in their dimension, since the angels made it a part of their source of travel. Now, we still don't know what an angel is, but yet these angels were climbing up the ladder and climbing down the ladder, or sliding up and down the ladder, either or. But they were using this ladder. It doesn't say that they were flying on wings. It didn't say they had wings. It said they were using this ladder. So could that be saying that they don't have wings? I don't know. It's vague. Nonetheless, they weren't flying. They were using the ladder. Maybe they were flying with the ladders. All right, that was just a little poking fun at it. But nonetheless, these angels that we know not what they are, or should I say what type of being they are, they were using the ladder. All right. We tend to think that heaven is afar off and that angels have to travel a very long ways between here and there. Yet, right here, we see that heaven is not quite as far away. In fact, it is nowhere near as far away as anyone has dared to see. If you listen to some of the people on TV, the so-called preachers and pastors, I've heard them say that, heaven is light years and light years away. It's at the end of the galaxy, at the end of the universe, and it surrounds the whole universe. And I heard all these things being said, but based on this scripture, we haven't gotten to other scriptures yet, but based on this scripture, that description, that placement, location of heaven that these pastors has given makes no sense. This passage makes heaven seem very near. And it would explain how angels get here from heaven so quickly. All right. I'm of the mind that it is closer to earth than our own moon. The scriptures did not say the heaven was made far off from the earth in the beginning, just that they were both made. Scriptures also describe heaven's location to be north. Well, this verse confirms that. Going backwards in scripture, it says that when you look up, even as close as the earth's atmosphere, heaven is just north, upwards from the ground. Now, north is not truly up. North is merely a direction on a plane. Up and down goes adjacent to northeast, south, and west. If you got northeast, south, and west, up and down would be like a spear coming through the center of those directions, and then you could spin it, and then northeast, south, and west would spin on up and down. So you can't go up to go north, but I think the Father understood that we tend to think of up when we think of north. I think that's all that is. All right. North is not truly up, but it is how we tend to view the direction of north. The intent was for us to know that neither heaven nor Yahuwah are far from you. And with that, we're going to be far from finishing this chapter. We'll pick it up again. I'll pick it up again at verse 13. Till then, this is your servant Yahuwah saying, enjoy this good day.